Hi, guys. Good afternoon, and welcome back once again to The Ed Word. I'm your host, Eddie, and in today's video, I will be giving you my review for Season 4, Volume 2, which is the final 2 episodes of Season 4, not the final 2 episodes of the show, not by a long shot, with Season 5 officially confirmed not too long ago. So here to join me, of course, is Steve and Dustin, members of the new Babysitters Club, and we're here to talk about what we thought of the final 2 episodes of the season and how much I enjoyed it. Now, before I get into it, of course, please be warned, spoilers, and I mean spoilers, are going to be abundant throughout this video, as I will be discussing in super spoilery detail exact plot details and character stuff for episodes 8 and 9 of Season 4. So if you haven't watched Volume 2 yet and you want to, do not, I repeat, do not keep watching or listening to this, as I will be dropping spoilers left and right. So you have been warned. Again, spoiler warning is issued. Let's get right back into it. First and foremost, overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this entire season, a hell of a lot more than I enjoyed Season 3. Season 3 was okay to me, but Season 4 was great. So good. So good. I really enjoyed this from beginning to end. It was immensely satisfying and a massive improvement over Season 3. In my opinion, all of the hype from the stars and the people behind the scenes who are involved in the show and have a hand in making it, everybody who provided every possible tease and hype for this season, it lived up to the hype, in my honest opinion. It was exciting, it was epic, it was filled with monsters, spectacle, heartbreak, character, it had everything. So I thoroughly enjoyed Season 4. Well done to the Duffer Brothers and to Netflix and everybody else involved. This was a great, solid season. Honestly, this might be my second favorite season right after Season 2. So, yay. I'm not at all surprised about what happened to Eddie or Dr. Brenner. Frankly, I was happy to see Dr. Brenner die for real. That guy was a prick. And I loved how Eleven did not grant him his final request, saying, "I understand why you did what you did, Papa." She was just like, "Goodbye, Papa." Because he didn't love her. Well, he might have cared for her to some extent, but loved her like a true daughter? No, she was more of a scientific experiment to him. So I was happy to see that prick finally go. I wasn't shedding any tears for him. I did, however, feel quite bad for my namesake, Eddie. I wasn't at all, this is going to sound maybe a bit snobby, but I suspected heavily that he was going to die simply because you can't really kill off any of the other principal characters because people would riot. That's why, thankfully, Steve and Dustin and all the other characters all thankfully survived this season. Now, what's next season going to look like? I don't know. We could get quite the bloodbath. But this season, thankfully, all of our favorite characters survived, with a few exceptions. Eddie quickly became a fan favorite, but as I long suspected to be the case, his character was created so they could kill him off by the end of the season, so we don't actually lose any of our more beloved main characters. No offense or disrespect to the character or to the actor who played him. He did a great job. Wasn't surprised about Brennan or Eddie, but Eddie was still pretty sad to watch. Even though I kind of saw it coming, it was still pretty sad to see it happen, but at least he went down like a fighter and protecting Dustin in the process too. I also did love how Dustin was able to tell the one person who actually gave a damn about Eddie, which was his uncle, about the truth about how he died. Well, the truth to an extent. I am also shocked that despite the massive earthquake that rattled Hawkins, that's what everyone believes it to be, and no one seems to notice, at least until the final closing shot of this episode, that there's this weird red glowing lightning in the sky that very well could be, or is most likely, the Mind Flayer and or Vecna. And it feels like those are two separate entities, are they not? Or are they two different things? Because I feel like Vecna found the Mind Flayer and the Mind Flayer empowered him. Maybe they're one and the same. I don't know. It's a bit confusing, but I knew Vecna wasn't dead. His physical form may have been defeated, but he's far from dead, as Will confirmed, since he can sense it now, since he's hypersensitive. Oh, God, and poor Will. That is the one thing I did not like about this episode, if I had any complaints. It was a touching scene between him and Mike, how he was using Eleven as a metaphor for himself, describing about how he feels about Mike, but of course Mike couldn't tell that. Oh, God, that was heartbreaking to see. Will really had it rough this whole season, being the third wheel, the odd man out, Most likely he's gay and has feelings for Mike, and of course Mike will not reciprocate, which is equally heartbreaking to think about. But I did love the fact how Jonathan picked up on it and reminded Will that he can always come to him to talk, or just come to him in general, because they are brothers and they love each other, and that was really touching to see. So I hope things turn out better for Will. I hope Will, out of all the characters, gets one of the happier, if not the happiest ending, because this poor kid has been through hell and back this entire series, and he really deserves a happy ending. So you hear that, Duffer Brothers? If you're going to give anyone a happy ending, make sure it's Will. I loved seeing the Demo Dogs make a return. Wasn't quite the triumphant return I thought they'd make, but I was just gratified to see them in action in that Russian prison, eating and killing Russian guards and fighting and dealing with Hopper and his allies. As brief as it was to see the Demo Dogs, I was so happy to see them, whether they were in stasis or they were out eating people. I love seeing the Demo Dogs. They are easily my favorite creature of this whole series. So yay, that was awesome. I am also shocked, speaking of Russians, I'm also shocked that both Yuri and Dmitri survived, because I thought, oh, well, these two were just created for this season so we could have some somewhat impactful character deaths. But no, they have seemingly survived. Now, granted, Hopper, Murray, and Joyce made it back to the States, but those two probably just stayed back in Russia. Will we ever see them again? I sure hope so, because I definitely like Dmitri more than I like the double-crossing Yuri, although I did like how he got a mini redemption arc throughout the final episode, so that was kind of cool. But I'm just shocked that they didn't kill either one of them. Another person who I thought was on the chopping block, possibly, but I'm so glad that he wasn't, was Argyle. And hopefully Argyle doesn't go back to California anytime soon and decides to stick around in Indiana with his new friends, because Argyle was another awesome, hilarious addition to this show this season. So overall, great season finale. I was curious as to how they were going to get out of it. I wasn't too surprised they played the true love card, with Mike echoing and telling Eleven while she's under that he loves her, he's always loved her, he'll love her no matter what. That was the kind of drive, motivation she needed to really recharge or repower herself and then take on Vecna, at least temporarily. I was also relieved to see that Max, despite being in a coma, still alive technically. Now, will she remain in that coma next season? Hopefully not, because I love Max, and it was so sad when I thought she was going to, she was like dead for real. But I'm so glad that Eleven somehow managed to bring her back to life to some capacity, even though it's in a coma. But hopefully Max pulls through next season, because of all the couples in this show, I really want her and Lucas to be together again. They're so cute. And speaking of couples, I like Jopper, as people keep calling who were pushing for Joyce and Hopper to be together. They finally did. They're finally together. They finally kissed after 4 seasons now. So that was satisfying to see, even though they're not particularly my favorite couple. I like them both, but of all the couples, Max and Lucas are my top 2 right there. So hopefully those two make it back to one another. Speaking of Lucas, I'm glad he got into that confrontation with that prick football quarterback, and the jerk-off got what was coming to him as the ground started to split in half. So did he. I was like, oh shit, we got another kill for the count. So that was nice to see. Great season finale, though. I really enjoyed these final 2 episodes, and I enjoyed this whole season overall, as I hope you guys did too. I loved how, despite being physically far apart from each other, all the characters kind of knew what was going on with each other, and they were able to make decisions and actions that impacted each other from afar, and they all ended up back together, physically together, finally at the end. So I really liked that. It was a nice change up from the past couple seasons where they were all fairly together for the most part. This time it was way more spread out, and that's what made it so much more compelling this go around. So thank you so much for watching my review for Volume 2 of Season 4 of Stranger Things. No word as to yet when Season 5 will be coming, but it is coming, so stay tuned for those updates. And thanks again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed these 2 episodes as much as I did. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend and a safe 4th of July if I don't see you back here on the Edward. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.